Hi, my name is Sandra. I will be your moderator today. You're welcome to the second session of Localtalks. Apologies for the delay. But yeah, we thank you for joining us here. We have people online, and the people.
Yes.
We have people online who have joined us as well. So we are happy to have you here. So just a brief background about Localtalks. Localtalks is a series of events that we hold 4 times a year, and they are all based on green design, trying to tackle different topics over the years. It's part of the education sector of the Local Works Foundation, and the two other sectors include research and eco-social impact. So the Local Works Foundation is a Ugandan-based non-commercial organization established in 2023 to address the knowledge and skills gap in the East African construction sector. Established as an arm of Local Works, which is our firm, the Local Works Foundation focuses on ecological architecture and aims to close the gap by promoting the use of local regenerative materials, passive design principles, and innovative technologies. Our goal is to provide practical research in materials and construction technologies, train designers and builders in green design principles, and directly impact community initiatives with our expertise. All that, as Local Works, we recently released a book called Material, which is at the counter there, and it's on sale at 95,000 if you're interested. So to bring you to today's session. So today's session is called Local Innovators, green products from natural and recycled materials. We have 5 speakers today. You may have noticed on the tables, there are samples that have been set up. So they'll eventually talk about their products. So the 5 speakers we have, Nantale Harriet Rita, the operations manager at Papercraft, Nasuna Mirembe, the CEO of Impact MakaPads Limited, Okelo John Baptist, the business manager at TEXFAD Limited, Daniel Kayemba, the CEO of WastePlus, and Rachel Laniero, the head of operations at Divine Bamboo. I'll introduce them all a little later, like properly a little later. So the order of events for this session is we'll have the 5 presentations, and then when the presentations are done, we'll have a Q&A session. So basically the first hour of this session will be the presentations, then we follow up with a Q&A session. So the people online, you can feel free to type your questions, and then we will read them out as the Q&A session goes on. So our first speaker today is Nantale Harriet Rita, who is the operations manager at Papercraft Africa. Harriet is a lady passionate about recycling and business. She loves being useful to others at all times. Through recycling processes going on at Papercraft, they save the planet and create jobs for disadvantaged people in our community. So Harriet, over to you.
Good evening to you all. My name is Harriet Nantale, and I work with Papercraft Africa. Papercraft was started way back in 2006, and we have been operating since then. We are a recycling company. We started with the recycling of paper, then we went to recycling of glass. We make soap, we do candles, all using the local materials. The paper recycling, I'll start with the glass recycling. You see the glass on the tables. We collect the glass. Sorry. I think I'll follow the PowerPoint. Papercraft is a community-based organization which was set up mainly to help the disadvantaged people in our community. The project was started way back before 2006, but we formalized everything in 2006. It was started by a French Canadian by the names of Annie Pajou, and her main intention was to create jobs for the disadvantaged mothers. When she was around Namulanda, she realized we had so many youths who didn't have jobs and who had not gone to school. They were young mothers, so she trained them in making the paper. So it was more of a community-based organization to help the people around Namulanda. We have been making paper since then, and we are based in Wakiso district. We currently recycle glass, like the pieces you see on the other table. That's one of our departments, collecting the glass bottles. We go to places where they have dumped the bottles. Currently, we have so many organizations that drop their bottles at the workshop. So we receive them, and at that stage, he's actually cleaning and washing the bottles. After he has cleaned the bottles, we have a big furnace. Unfortunately, we could not have a demo, but it's a big furnace where we insert all the glass. It runs overnight, and after it has melted, using blowing pipes, they mold different shapes out of our glass. We make things like flower vases, drinking glasses, decor, toys, all sorts of things with the glass. The glass department has greatly increased of late because most hotels are going eco and green, so they are buying more and more of our products. We are currently working with hotels like Mihingo Lodge, the Latitude. We are working with the Wild Places. Those ones have like Semliki, Apoka. We are working with the Marasa hotels. So we are expanding because people are getting more and more interested in eco-friendly products. So that's the glass recycling part. But at Papercraft, we also recycle paper. We make paper from things like banana fibers. We all know banana fibers. Yes, with the banana fibers, we just cook, blend, and lift them on screens. They make very beautiful paper. Some of our products there, mainly the calendar, it has the banana fiber paper. But we also recycle paper. For the recycling of paper, all we do is soak our paper in water. We get the paper from all offices around Kampala, schools, and all we do is soak the paper in water, blend it, and then we lift it on screens. We have a few photos. That's our blender where we blend our paper. We blend the banana fibers, we blend the elephant grass, the pineapple tops. We make paper out of anything that has fibers, and we have concentrated on the readily available materials, which is the banana fiber, the elephant grass, and the pineapple tops. The lady in the middle is making paper, so it's very simple. It's all handmade. All we do is dip a screen through a water container with paper in it, and we hang to dry. When it's dry, it's actually paper. The lady on the edge is hanging the paper to dry. So when the paper is dry, it's just what you'll see on the tables. We use our paper for packaging. We make soap, we package it in the papers we have made. We make glasses, we make the boxes out of the paper we have made for packaging. We do all sorts of items that are currently used on the market. And that's the paper recycling and the glass recycling. Papercraft also does things like candles using the beeswax. We make things like soap out of vegetable oils. And we do anything with our hands to increase the span, to diversify and increase our market. Each day we are focusing on increasing the market of paper craft. We have stayed around for over 20 years, and we just believe the more we become creative and innovative, looking out for more ideas, getting to know new ways of doing things, we will grow bigger. Thank you. The table over here is the table for paper craft. I'll borrow some knowledge from the MakaPads. We also use the paper, just like what they have in the container. And out of glass, we make things like the drinking glasses. We make the flower vases. Beautiful vase was handmade at Papercraft. Then with the packaging, the boxes are made out of the banana fiber. You see the matoke around, the matoke plantations. The stem, as the matoke grows, tends to wither. So that's what we use to make the paper. So this box and the photo frame is actually made out of the banana fibers. The books are made out of the tops of a pineapple. The pineapple's leaves can make nice paper. We have things like the cards. They're made out of the banana fiber, and inside we just blend them with the recycled paper. Make things like most of our soap is packaged with our recycled paper. We also do the small soaps for the hotels, and we still package them with banana fiber and recycled paper. Thank you.
Thank you, Harriet, for that presentation. Yeah, it was very insightful. I don't know if you guys have learned something, but I have learned a few things. I've picked up a few things here and there. So our next presenter is Nasuna Mirembe, who is the CEO of Impact MakaPads Limited. She's a civil engineer by profession, a passionate worker with experience in working with diverse teams to set and achieve goals. Her management studies have propelled her to leadership provisions, and she's driven by the need to also bless others. So with all that, over to you.
Thank you and good evening. It's nice to see some faces I've seen before, and I'm so glad that I came after the lady who talks about fiber. So my name is Nasuna Mirembe, engineer by profession. My daily job, I do roads in Kampala City. So just in case you find me in another forum, please don't be surprised. But the other side of me is to actually make the girl child's life a little bit better. So our product is called MakaPads. Maka meaning menstruation, administration, knowledge, and affordability. But also Maka means home in my language where I come. I'm a Uganda. So in Central region, Maka means home. So the idea of this product is, can we make our homes better? Can the people that we work with, who are 80% women, be able to actually work on this product while making sure their homes are better? They can actually work from home and then be able to work with us. And then also whatever they get can actually make their lives better. But again, I'm also creating a sanitary pad, which therefore they are managing their menstrual cycle. So that's the theory of MakaPads. And it really started out by a challenge given to my father, the late engineer Dr. Moses Kizamsas. And he was challenged by a lady and said the girl child has stopped going to school, or is missing class, or is getting pregnant early. And one of the issues from UNHCR report was this young girl fails to go to school because she started her menstruation, and the stigma is too much. Said you create so many things. If you see our poster, we create quite a number of things, which are a lot of engineering and building and everything. But he was challenged and said, can you create something that's going to make the girl child better? I happen to be a girl in 4 boys. So you can imagine how beautiful it was for my father to create a sanitary pad just for me. I don't know why you didn't name it after me, but anyway. So simply put, we use papyrus, I'm sure you know. The idea is papyrus is actually an endangered species in Uganda because of all our bad habits. But what we do is that we sustainably harvest it. And after 6 months, we can actually use that papyrus that's grown enough to use it. So what she's doing is, after we've harvested it from this one, we just take off that green part, just the skin, and then I have this pulp inside. This is what I actually cut and then pound or grind into fiber, and then dry it. So what I'll end up is something like this, just the fiber. Now this mixed with paper. My dad was a lecturer, and therefore we kept saying, what do we do with all this paper in Makerere University? What do you do to all the paper in your office and you're done with it? Where do you throw it, apart from burning it? So his idea came from, can I use what I already have, available resource? And that paper that you did all your exams in and you don't know what happened to it, it's making sanitary pads, but don't tell anyone. So that paper right now is what we actually then use, like you said, put it in paper, in water, combine it, and then I get this. This is papyrus and paper. Why did we use papyrus? Simply put, it was a simple life example. We've seen papyrus every single day. It's absorbing water 24/7 for 365 days and never leaks water. And I think my father, in one of these things, he remembered he used to sleep on a papyrus mat. And when he would urinate in the morning, the place is dry. You really wonder what happened to the susu. So he said, if it can absorb water, if it can absorb your urine, then it can definitely can absorb blood. So that's how simple, no great science. It was just a man who looks at everyday life, and then he said, wow, papyrus we have in plenty until you guys go start building it and while are being taken out of the BG. Now, this is what we actually those who are supporting that to save the wetlands. So this is the paper. Then after all this is done, I actually start to produce the pads. But the question is, since I was given 10 minutes, does the part, so it's papyrus and paper, and then everything else that UNBS will ask me for. The question is, does it work? So I am going to kindly ask a gentleman, not even a lady, to come. You know that advert of Always? That where they put ink and they pour and then they say she's fine and she jumps around. I want a gentleman to come and do this experiment as I close. Because I need to confirm, does it work? Well, I'm just telling you my story, the history of my father. So I have a gentleman, but I'm waiting for a volunteer as I pretend to be talking some more. I have ink here, which is what it is. This is one of my staff. Believe me, he does these things many times, but I suggest I get a nice gentleman, so kind to actually, thank you. This is the very, menstruation also affects men. You may not know, but until you want to have sex with your woman, then she tells you I'm in my period, then you discover it actually, yeah? Then she tells you, now it's going to be 7 days, now this time it has taken a week. Then you feel the pinch, So I need him to just, simple. Nothing even, it's not about beauty, it's all about does it work? So as the camera gets closer, I want him to feel, just like feel it like really it is full. Don't even be shy, just keep. Anyone who's near you, you realize that as it's dropping, the ink on is actually getting quickly absorbed. It's no longer on top. The blood is not staying on top, or the ink for now. So that is one. Let him try it. Sit down. I'm going to ask because we don't have much time. I want him to. So one of the things that the top part has that non-moving, which has holes, therefore it percolates inside, which is what every pad has. What always changes all the pads, it's what we use to absorb and retain. My magic is papyrus. I've given you my secret. This kind gentleman has forward. I'm even going to help him now. Let me use the bottle. Just so we know. We try to feel it. Of course, now I'm really pouring it like this. But gentlemen, this is not how we menstruate. It's a drop by drop. Don't be crazy thinking we pour like taps. So I am trying to feel it as quickly. Imagine I was my assistant here called Kathy. This is Katongole and this is Kathy. And she keeps saying that if you went on a bus to Kabale and it's 7 hours, and you know how those guys don't like to stop along the way, they forget that we need to susu. Now for me, I'm menstruating. Susu is the now, but imagine you're menstruating. And then if they help you, they'll stop in Masaka. That's probably 4 hours away, or 3 on a good day. Now you cannot change. You cannot stop the bus and tell the bus driver, I want to change my pad. what? The whole world will like look at you like, what's wrong with you? So now just imagine. So I have filled it. I'm going to fill it some more. Just for, in case things get so bad. Oh, here we go. I don't know if you're saying it. This is us completely, that we have really outdone ourselves, But the situation calls for that. So the question is, so it has actually absorbed it. There's no nothing on top. Then you turn it behind. Do we see? Now I want another gentleman. This gentleman is here, but I want him to touch it. Tell me if you feel anything wet. It's ink. Honestly. And by the way, if I didn't menstruate, you probably will not be born. So kakana, let us take this. Okay, I need another. I need some of these ladies. They may not believe. The question is, what are you looking for in a sanitary pad? You want something that's dry, then because you don't want to feel. Leak proof. I think I poured enough. Is it unless behind? Yeah. So tell me, is it dry? Is it wet? If we turn behind, do we have ink on our hands? So there goes. So I think I have created the sanitary pad called MakaPads, papyrus and paper. It actually absorbs, it actually retains. Magic is the papyrus. But the thing, let me ask the first question before you go and ask me. Where aren't we? Our target is the rural areas, because there, affordability and accessibility to sanitary materials is actually very hard and very expensive. Whatever you buy here for probably 3,000, there it goes for 7,000 or 10,000. So our target area, rural areas, where that says over 80% of women and girls in the rural areas cannot afford and cannot access. So this packet of 10 goes for 2,500 shillings, but just in case even that gets really tough, because sometimes it does. And most of the time for these people, that. So I have a packet here of 3. One of these is 3, and that goes for 1,000 shillings. Again, for the issue of affordability. And then my target is rural areas where even if you walk into a supermarket today, you find 40 brands. When I go to my village, which not even 2 farmers a car, and I try to go to any shop, I'll probably find 1 brand, that is if it's available. So that's where I am. I am not in Kampala. Don't need to be. You're fine. But let's save that girl child out there whose life has changed just because she might sleep with the border guy who gave her the sanitary pad and then get pregnant. I don't have to today. Thank you.
So our next speaker is Okello John Baptist, who is the business manager at TEXFAD Limited. He possesses a high level of experience in project planning, monitoring and evaluation, with over 5 years experience in business administration and development. He is a highly trained business professional. So John Baptist, I'll hand it over to you.
Very good evening to you all. Like she said, my name is John Baptist Okello, the business manager of TEXFAD. Like the slide says, we transform waste banana stems into high quality, sustainable, and biodegradable annual textile. Just like the 2 presenters that have done us justice here, the MakaPads, and then my sister for recycling. TEXFAD, next slide, please. TEXFAD is a textile industry in Uganda that is transforming waste banana stems into high quality sustainable textiles. And then TEXFAD operates 2 hubs, that is the skill training hub and then the manufacturing hub. Under the skill training hub, we are more especially into offering the non-formal and the formal skills, especially when it comes to the banana fiber innovations. We are accredited by the Directorate of Industrial Training when it comes to offering the non-formal skills training to youth and women. Now, with Uganda being the 2nd largest producer and the consumer and the leading consumer of banana in the whole world, just for some of you who couldn't has no clue about this, Uganda is the 2nd largest producer of banana in the whole world, just after India. Now, Uganda is a leading consumer, banana in the whole world. Meaning the banana we produce, we consume them all. With the exception of late, which we have started exporting to some countries, even the matoke which we eat in Uganda right now. Now, every day, my sister from MakaPads, I think she must be coming from western part of Uganda. Every single day, about 1,000 trucks are driving western Uganda to central Uganda and other parts of Uganda, just bringing this, what you call matoke. Now, did you know that banana is one of those crops that only fruits once in its lifetime? After it has fruited, it will never fruit again, even if you leave it for 100 years. But of course, we'll be giving birth, to children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Now, meaning every single leaf or every single finger of a banana you hit, there is a stem that is destroyed. Imagine we are the second largest producer and the leading consumer, meaning research has proven that every single year we have about 9 million metric tons of banana waste stem that are discarded either in the food markets or in the plantations. Now, with farmers having no clue, on how to add value to it, actually farmers, what they basically do is they cut them some for animal for feed and others as mulches. But that is not economical, or we are losing out the commercial value that this stem has. Now, that is why TEXFAD is in existence, just because we have a lot of banana waste that are discarded. Next slide. Now, this is it. Uganda is the second largest producer of banana in the whole world after India and is the largest consumer. Now, with every individual having an average of about 1 kilogram on a daily basis, I guess majority of you here have eaten matoke today, with the exception of a few. So imagine every single Ugandan eats about 1 kilogram of banana every single day. Now, and I've already told you about banana. So we have about 16 million metric million tons of waste that lies as discarded. Now, it is from this background that TEXFAD has invented a technology of extracting a fiber, which my system of recycling is using to package. And then MakaPads, very soon, I'm approaching you with banana fiber. I don't know whether you've tried it, but I have a colleague in Kenya, EcoBana, who is using banana fiber. So it can be something very good. Now, it is out of this that TEXFAD has invented a technology of extracting a fiber. I don't know if you can allow me to move here. Now, this is what I call the banana fiber. Okay, when you see a stem of banana, I see local works have done us justice. We have stems here. Now, from that stem, you have something like this. When you have a fiber like this, now this alone has a very high commercial value. The world currently is demanding a lot of fiber. Now, cotton is growing. I know most of you engineers, you might not be in that field, but the cotton growing is drastically reducing. Meaning a time is going to come not so soon, not so far from now, where you won't be having the clothing you have, or they will start recycling them. But now TEXFAD is saying, look here, if we have this fiber can be softened, or it can go through a process called cottonization, where you have a material but out of banana fiber. Now, when you have a cotton-like product, that then can go to big companies like fine spinners where they are spun into a yarn. When it is spun into a yarn, and then we can make a fabric out of it. It's a direction which TEXFAD is looking into right now. TEXFAD already currently has ventured into these particular products. I think you can take me to the next slide where I have some pictures. Now, this is a banana fiber rag. This is unwoven. And then they're woven by the youth and the women. We're working with them. Now, our skill training arm offers training on this, where we have trained so far now over 500 youth and women on how to weave this. The question comes, sustainability. If I train somebody in Western Uganda, how will that particular person be able to continue weaving this? So TEXFAD, that's why we have the manufacturing arm where, having trained them, we bring them or we hire them to the manufacturing arm where we are doing production for now the hotels and the lodges. They are basically our clients. And then these products we have also diversified it into hair extension. I've just carried a sample. Now, if you may know, for the ladies who are here, you use synthetic. Now, NEMA tells us about 41% of the land that we have is already, degraded. It's already affected. Now, largely it's affected because of the synthetic which we're using. That's one of them. Are we together? Now, TEXFAD is providing a solution to the synthetic air which has drastically or which has greatly affected the environment. Instead of using the synthetic, you can use a banana fiber air extension, which after using it, throw it to the garden. This dry season, this rainy season, it will decompose or it will biodegrade. Now that's the kind of a solution which we're bringing to the market. Now I know the question is, how can I put on banana fiber air extension? Yeah. That's what ladies are wondering. But I can give you a free invitation to my factory, and then you have a look at what we're doing. So the banana fiber air extension is biodegradable. The banana fiber air extension is recyclable. Having used it and then you don't want it anymore, you can bring it back to me. I'll produce another product out of it. That is the air extension. Now we're looking at this because we import a lot of hair, but with the banana fiber air extension, we shall be able to reduce that importation, but also preserve our environment by the sustainable product which we're producing. Now, something I didn't talk about is the cottonization here. When you cottonize these, you have a cotton-like product. When you have a cotton-like product, then taken to a spinning mill, spun into a yarn, then we can have a fabric. Now, TEXFAD is saying we want to dress you. How are we going to dress you? From the head, because TEXFAD stands for textiles and design. So we want to dress you from the head, which is the banana fiber extension. We want to give you a banana fiber fabric to put on. A time is going to come not so far, where you're going to choose when you go to the market, either to buy a banana fiber cloth or a cotton, material of a clothing you would want. But also TEXFAD is working on a vegan leather. We are seeing a very high growing community of vegans, of people who, they don't like anything to do with animal skins and all of that. So we are providing a vegan leather. This in terms of a bag, in terms of the belt, and then the shoe out of the vegan, out of the banana fiber and other plant materials. Now, something very fundamental in the next slide here. What makes TEXFAD? A well-trained labor force, okay, that are skilled into this. We have a very innovative capabilities of the team. Everything big. That's why I said one day I'll dress you. Low utility price and cheap raw materials. We have this banana everywhere in the country. Then, of course, the strategic proximity to huge market. Right now, the world has been awakened to the importance of sustainability. And of course, this has been facilitated so much by the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals that advocate so much of sustainable production. And then the consumption, availability of appropriate technology, and then the goodwill from development partners. We've had so many people that have never known about this. I want to believe that most of you had never known that you can have this from a banana fiber. Some of you never knew you can have something like this from banana stem. Well, I know I'm not. Are we together, ladies and gentlemen? So just to wind up, what do I have in the next slide? All right. This since 2013, we're a national leader in the banana textile industry. The banana textile industry in Uganda is still growing. TEXFAD has been pioneering innovation in the banana fiber with various innovations, currently having the innovation on banana hair. I've already talked about it, the vegan leather, and then the banana fiber fabric. TEXFAD has attracted development partners that have supported the innovation, and these include, among others, the ATPAs, the UNDP, the World Bank. These are the development partners that have picked a lot of interest into the innovations that we are currently having. Thank you very much. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you, John Baptist, for that presentation. The next speaker is Daniel Kayemba, who is the CEO of WastePlus. He's an experienced conservation biologist with 9 years of experience in waste management and conservation. He is eager to apply proven plastic management in monitoring, maintaining, and advocating for a waste plastic-free environment. He has a special interest in achieving recycling and clean energy goals, and helping with advocacy and planning. So, Daniel, over to you.
All right. Good evening, everyone. By the names of Kayemba Daniel. I'm a co-founder with Sinan at WastePlus. We work with plastic, and we all believe that plastic is part of us, even until it becomes a waste and everyone just run away from it. Every one of us, the gentleman was talking about the cotton industry, and we all believe that some of us, by the time we grew, we heard about the cotton farms in Uganda. Right now, they aren't there. They aren't there. And most of our clothes are most of polyester, which means they are polymers, which comes from plastic. So most of us are putting on clothes made out of plastic, right? And most of the plastic we put on is majorly the bottles, which are taken by the Chinese. Then the Chinese make polyester, then they bring back as a good shirt, and you buy it expensively. So that's where the problem comes from. So WastePlus enables communities to benefit from small-scale localized plastic recycling systems. And I had very many slides, but then I'm going to create a narrative, then I'll take the last slide where I want to show you what we do. Yeah. So in Uganda, more than 600 tons of plastic are produced every day. And out of the 600 tons of waste plastic which are produced every day, less than 9% are recycled. So which means we have more than 540 tons of plastic which are put into our environment, into our beautiful environment, and they're not picked. So the likes of WastePlus and other people whom you see picking the plastic, the one who move with the sacks, they are only contributing to the 9%. Why? Why is it like that? Perhaps it's more of how our communities are organized, and some of us, we love the environmental story. We love our environment. But if you've had a good conversation from Daniel telling you to please do recycling, and you have your bottle, the question would be, what will happen to that bottle? What will you do with that bottle? You'll be like, okay, I am an environmentalist. I love environment. I want to go with plastic. What would you do? When you're moving around, you're like, okay, as long as no one sees me, you throw it down. And then together, we don't want to take the blame. The next thing you'll hear is like the government is not doing a lot, NEMA is not doing a lot, there are no policies. But the question should be, what are you going to do personally to achieve a plastic-free environment? Or how best can you manage your waste or your plastic waste? So what we did is that we came together with our concept of WastePlus, and we made what we call the green pods. So these green pods were put in different cities around the country. Right now, we've so far put them in 10 cities. Next slide. Again, next slide. Yeah, so these are the green pods. So these are systems you are put in a 40-feet container. And this one, they have the crushing line, the sorting line, and people who are running these machines. And when you see a truck, I think most of you have seen some trucks filled up with plastic bags. Yeah, some of them are flowing out and like, oh, the out of plastic are being taken out. Well, that is less than 2.5 tons of plastic you see in every truck which is moving around. That is one which is mostly, which is having out of sacks and almost overflowing. It is less than 5 tons of plastic. 2.5 tons of plastic. And that means, to simplify that for you, every ton of plastic has 3,500 bottles in each ton of plastic. So, which means in maximum they can carry around 7,000 bottles in one truck. And then our consumption, I told you, it is 600 tons of plastic. So there was a need for us to create these hubs which can recycle in different areas. Then for us, we get the recycled material into our workshops. That's what we've been doing, and that's what we've been achieving. Because most of the recycling centers which are available, they still have that linear way of taking the truck, fill it with plastic, then take it back. But before you know it, you're taking the maximum collection in a day can be around 5-6 tons. But for us, we have the capacity of collecting close to 25 tons of plastic every single day. That is something good, but we are still way behind our normal consumption. When I was still at the university, we were actually so much on the streets of Kampala because we were from Makerere. So we used to strike on environmental days that please send not to recycling, send not to single-use plastic, all that kind of conversation. So one time we went to one of the biggest producers in our country, And we were one-on-one with him. He told us, okay, Daniel, what do you want from us? I told him, you should stop producing plastic. Can you try something else? He told us one thing, Daniel, as long as the world needs refreshment, we aren't yet to stop. So that feeling you're having really beat at the back that we have quite a solution. We have to be part of the solution, or we are going to protest for the rest of our time. Because these are big corporations. They're the biggest tax givers. They create a lot of jobs. So you can't go against them, especially using the state and other avenues. So we had to think about something like this. So these codes are given in different cities. We have one in Lira, Gulu, Mbale, Mbarara, and we are setting one in Fort Portal right now. And we have our recycling line. Please. Okay, I'll talk about the model later. So in these pods, we have our factory in Masanafu. I'll show you the photo later. So the collectors collect. They take it to the green pods operators. Then from there, we pick the plastic into our site and we recycle. What do we make? What is recycling? Initially, we would have gotten a bottle, put in the flour, yeah, then sell it out. But these are some of the things we would have mostly in exhibitions and again in exhibition without really creating a very massive project. Yeah. Other than one time, we will have more than perhaps 3,500 bottles with flowers to give out to everyone. So what we did is to create this kind of products. The Lamba. We were working with a good friend of ours in Masaka, where we got a lot of knowledge and also we tried to do other stuff out of them. So when we became independent, we started making ours. So this is the sheet lumber, which is used in construction, and we're still designing them. We have our the lumber over there, out of plastic, and out of last month, we made this chair. So what you see here is a former waste plastic. So what we try to do is create a very good product, which you would love to have in your office. Yeah. And you will see that you are replicating or you are replacing wood. What wood could be done to have this table or this chair? We are just replacing it with plastic out of the environment. And that's the story you want to sell out that, hey, in this room, we can create different kind of products out of the waste plastic. And you can proceed. So proceed again. That's a kind of a complicated model. Again. Yeah, so our production model is quite simple. We work with our partners, both locally and from Austria, who have given us some kind of knowledge and also our zeal to look at the need of this model. So what we did previously, collectors will get the plastic, collect them, take to the buyers. From the region 1, get the plastic. Yeah, there. Get it from the plastic, add the bottle, take it straight to the international processors, as it was right now. Even the companies, you see most of them in Kampala doing that. Then what we did is that we try to combine from region 1, collect the plastic, take it to the pods, then recycle it, have the products, then sell the products to the community. And still we always do recycling of the products. We always look out to see what people want to do. For example, in Western Uganda, most of them are farmers, and they use wood to make paddocks in case of grazing and also on their farms. So what happened? Most of them were eaten by termites. So you have to change the poles, the breast poles at least 3 times a year in order for you to achieve what you want. But then what we told them, hey, you can make for you some plastic lumber, which is resistant to termites and to the environment or to any bad weather. So we had to create those kind of beams over there. I'll show them later on. Yeah. But then what are we trying to achieve? This is not just a story of how to recycle, but the story of how to can achieve and create a green aspect within our. One, Most of us love fish, but did you know that in 2050, we shall have more plastic bottles than fish in Victoria? Oh, you didn't know that currently 20% fish in Victoria is having microplastics. It's fair, right? Good enough, you want a fish. But you eat fish. Plastic has not been broken down by the metabolism of the fish. So when you eat fish, it goes into your body by some chemistry called biomagnification. So it accumulates in our body, and then you get the cancers, which is really sad. Did you know in 2021, more than 45,000 people died in Uganda out of the burning all the gas which comes from burning plastic from our communities? It's really sad. So together, if we come together, we can really change a narrative, because man has always come up with solutions. So we believe we can still come up with solutions. This is part of them, the WastePlus. Our goal is to see that we change the whole story of plastic. We want to create value for every bottle. All this model you're seeing here, you can proceed. Yeah, this is our factory, Masanaf. Yeah, these are some of the things we do together with our friends, our partners. These are the machine which can extrude these plastics. We couldn't bring it here because it's quite kind of heavy. You can go on. Yes, these are some of the things we do out of our plastic. There are picnic tables, there are eco benches, there are fences, then the rubbish tins, interactive school desks. So we want to show you that plastic is versatile. We can do whatever we want to do with it, as long as it has value and adds value to our community. Every product you buy from us, you are extending your resources to the vulnerable communities. Earlier, I only showed you some people who are collecting. We work with the PWDs, we work with the women, we work with all the different factions within our group and within our communities. So that's my Harbor presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Daniel, for that presentation. Just a reminder, there are drinks, coffee and tea is on the house. Then we have some soft drinks, and some beers as well. So feel free to help yourselves out. So our next presenter is Rachel Laniero, who is the head of operations at Divine Bamboo. Rachel is a graduate of Makerere University Business School, and she has 3 years of experience in project implementation for climate change and clean energy. She has expertise in community organizing and stakeholder management, and has 4 years of experience in logistics and supply chains at Divine Bamboo Group Limited. Rachel, hand over to you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Rachel Laniero, and I'm the head of operations at Divine Bamboo Group Limited. So I'll be taking you through a brief of what it means to sell charcoal, the basics. Yes, so our company basically thrives on the name bamboo itself. So our main slogan is empowering people and protecting nature with bamboo in Africa. Why do you think we might have chosen bamboo as our flagship product? If you look at what is happening currently in Uganda and years way before, I believe all of us do some cooking. You're cooked either with firewood or with charcoal or with gas, any form of cooking basically. And because of this, there's a main problem that we face today, because we end up losing a lot of our trees. And because we lose a lot of our trees, you're going to end up finding out that whenever you step out of here and you go out, you're like, oh my God, the sun is so hot. We're actually the causes of our own problems. We bring it on to ourselves. So how did we come up with our solution? It was basically bamboo. So you may ask yourself, why bamboo? 90% of Ugandans today depend on woody products to sort of have a source for their energy or their cooking needs. And because of this, we lose over 200,000 hectares annually. And because of this, I believe some of you who have cooked with firewood know how that smoke is. Like I've personally cooked with it, and yeah, I don't like it. Not a good feeling. 0 stars, wouldn't recommend. So yeah, as you can see, we can maybe call her a kilo. She is cooking right now using firewood, and there's a lot of smoke coming from it, and it's too tedious for her. And the solution we came up with was our bamboo briquettes. Next slide, please. Yeah, our solution is bamboo. You may ask yourself why bamboo. There are very many recorded uses that you can get from bamboo. Not only just the energy needs, it could be used for construction, it could be used as food. I believe you all know malewa, it's bamboo. So it could be used as food, it could be used for construction, it could be used as a business model like what we have right now. We have different products we push out there. For example, the seedlings, the plantation establishment and management services. But today our main focus is going to be on the briquettes itself because it's something that I believe all of us do. Everybody needs to eat, everybody cooks at one point. So yeah, next slide, please. So you might ask yourself, why bamboo? You see, whenever someone decides to go and cut down a tree because they need to get a means to cook, we're going to lose a tree. Let's take an example. Someone may cut down a eucalyptus tree or a pine tree and then turn it into charcoal. Once this tree is cut, that's the end of it. But the way bamboo grows, it has a regenerative sort of nature that it grows. It mimics how matoke grows. That's the best example or the nearest sort of closest way it grows I would measure it with. So it grows like matoke. It's generative. That even if I do cut a few stems, I'm not going to lose that plant cover. So that's where the eco-friendliness comes in. Then there's the fast growth. I think we all know, not we all know, but I know that it has been recorded to be among the fastest growing plants or trees or woody sort of materials or plants that grow in the world. And then there's the carbon sequestration. Because we know there are so many organizations and companies out there that emit a lot of carbon, and none of them is actually willing to offset that carbon. So because there's so much carbon in the environment, we are going to start experiencing the adverse effects of climate change. Let's take an example. You're going to come to your workplace, you're going to sit in your AC and you're okay. But someone in Chanamkaka somewhere there, like she's going to get out to go get her firewood, and then the sun is burning her. But the effect of that has been brought from someone who's in AC, and the effect cuts across, so it doesn't sort of pick out who faces this. Then there are also economic opportunities on it. Yeah, so can you go next slide? Yeah, so our products and services, the main one is the seedlings. Then the other one is the briquettes. Then there's biochar, which is basically an organic fertilizer. Then we have the plantation management and establishment services. Now, this is for anyone who is interested in, let's say, setting up a plantation, but it's basically with bamboo. Then there's the training programs. We shall see that a bit later. Next slide. When it comes to the briquettes, the briquettes are basically charcoal. We carried a few samples. They're right on the table, the dark things you're seeing there. Those are the briquettes. The first thing about them is one, they are eco-friendly and they are from a sustainable source. The second one is they burn longer. So we have done several tests whereby we do our briquettes against charcoal. We have 2 sigiris burning. Everyone has a sigiri, right? Yeah, a charcoal stove. So yeah, where we have put them to burn against each other, and our briquettes have been recorded to burn 3 times longer than charcoal. So that means it becomes very, very easy for you to sort of know how effective it is, how cost saving it is, and how time saving it's going to be. And then it's cost effectiveness. I think all of us felt what happened last year when the president banned charcoal production. When you ban charcoal production, those who make the charcoal were bringing the charcoal to Kampala and other areas around Kampala in the night. And because of this, we'd find you're buying a bag, which is the weight of about 50 kilograms at 140, 130, which was very ridiculous. But our briquettes are very, very cheap. One kilogram goes for as low as 1,000 shillings. So our target was Omuntu wa Wansi, because we know they're the ones who face the biggest issues looking for energy to cook. They suffer with the prices that charcoal has, but ours actually quite cheap. And we package them in 50 kilogram bags. I could have bought a bag, but yeah, it's heavy. Yeah, I came using food. So, so yeah, I couldn't carry that. Then the next one is the bamboo seedlings. So to date, we are the only 5-star certified bamboo nursery. with a production capacity of 400 seedlings annually. And our nursery harbors about 17 species of bamboo. So these normally cut across different things, like the projects we run with our different partners when it comes to things like restoration, our own plantations, because we want to have a sustainable source for making the bamboo briquettes that we make. Because right now the resource in the country is quite limited, and the one that is available is protected. It's put in the forest reserves. For example, in Western Uganda, there is a forest called Ichia. They have a lot of bamboo resources there, but you harvest it sustainably. It's not all the time. Only when you get the license to harvest is when you can. And then the rest is through other private foresters who have their land and they decide to, let me try and see if I can grow some bamboo. And that's how we're getting our resource today. Next slide, please. Yes, when it comes to the training programs, I will talk about it just a little bit. So sometimes when you talk about bamboo and you say you can get items out of it, for example, baskets, cups, lampshades, and the rest, someone would wonder, how do you get that from a tree? So currently we have programs that we run in 2 districts in Western Uganda. One is in Kasese, another one is in Riverizi, and we're partnering with an organization called WWF Uganda, where we're doing a green job sort of promotion, whereby we're helping people to earn from nature itself and sort of have this resilience against climate change. So we're creating the resilience by having them get these skills where they could make items out of bamboo and actually benefit from them by selling them. I wouldn't go too much into their stats, but yeah. Next slide. So our traction to date, we have not just reached here just like that. Our company started 7 years ago. That was 2016, and we have made big strides along the way that have helped us sort of reach where we are right now. So from the seedlings, we began with about 2,000 seedlings. Now we're at 400,000. By I think next year we shall be at 1 million seedlings. Then for the smallholder program, the first ever training we did, we only got about 50 farmers. Currently, we are over 3,600 who are in our ecosystem. Then for the research and development, I mean, when you're building a product that people use on a daily, and the mindset change in Uganda is quite crazy because when you say you're selling briquettes and they work like charcoal, someone's going to ask you, well, I just buy charcoal since I know charcoal. So we have tried to develop a product that is sort of curated to someone's needs. One thing that people who do cook, like the big or the main food that you see around, the matoke, the beans, those things take a long time when you're cooking them. So we come up with a product that sort of meets the needs. 1, they burn longer. 2, they're very hot. 3, they don't emit smoke when you're cooking with them. So we try to meet the need of what people want and then merged it together with something that would protect our environment, something that won't push people to, sort of cut down trees. And actually, when I moved in, I saw bamboo and I got excited. And I was like, there's actually a construction in bamboo, which means actually people out there, not only us, know the use or what you could do with bamboo. Next slide, please. So I want to go about this is or that reaching up going 5 years ahead. Maybe the next slide. Yeah, so our project portfolio, these are some of the people we have worked with along the way. Ecosia is a crowdfunding platform whereby each time you go check their search engine, they plant a tree on your behalf. So that is the way they're actually pushing on to help people plant trees out there and try to offset their carbon. Then Mandilis Energy is actually a Ugandan organization. We set up 100 acres of bamboo for them. It's in Nwaya, that is in northern Uganda, and they're using the bamboo for a gasification project. Jambo International is a resource center. It's in Impigi district. We partnered with them. Then I'd mentioned WWF, UNDP, and then something. So our impact areas cut across very many SDGs, but the most important one is the affordable and clean energy. So when it comes to that one, we know how energy is sort of like a main need. People need to eat every day, and without energy, you won't be able to cook. So that is where our main focus is. Next slide, please. Yeah, that's just the brief of the team. Some of them, we are a team of about 20 people. So yes, just some of us and what we do, the experiences we come with, and how we have helped the company grow along the way. And the last slide. So yeah, that's just the whole team. So thank you.
Another round of applause for all our people. So, thank you to all our speakers for the presentations. It was very insightful. So our next session is a Q&A. So the floor is open to for any questions that you may have. I've seen a question here online from the people online. It's for Miss Harriet. Outside Depot, have you considered making windows from the recycled glass so they can contribute to the construction industry value chain?
Are planning to expand and make wider glass, but at the moment we haven't yet started making it.
Any more questions? So Harriet, your recycled paper is colored. You didn't say anything about that. So could you just shed a little more light on?
We are in recycling and we also doing business. So usually the colors come around because of our clients. People coming with weddings and the wedding theme is red. So you make everything red. But what we use, some of the products we use natural dyes, like the onion skin makes most of the purple. But for most of them, we use the powdered dyes. The pulp, yes, at the stage of the pulp. After we have soaked the paper, after the blending, that's when we'll put the colors. Then by the time we release it on screens, it's already colored. Mainly also for the children. Like today we had a school visit. Children love colored paper. So to make them love recycling the more, we have to put some color to it.
Very much. Any other questions? Question is for you, Nasona. That product that you're making, you made it seem very simple. Why wouldn't I, who's just seen what you're doing, be able to go and also reproduce and then even sell at a higher price to the Kampala people? Simple. I have told you, but I have not. Because if I tell you, I would have to kill you. That's why I don't think you would try, and people have tried, but there's those family secrets that we keep. You add the
Thank you so much. This is for Arid. Can you say something about the pricing of your different products? Thank you.
Pricing of our products varies. The cheapest product is actually 4,000 shillings. That's a card. And then the glasses, in the glass section, the cheapest is around 7,000. That's like a tote glass. But most of our products come costly because of the cost of production. Yeah.
questions. Well, our question was, I talked about what
the pad is made, all the absorbent material, but what else is the pad made out of? Is that what you're saying? So the standard for making sanitary pads, international and in East African standard, is the top part is what is called non-woven material. That's the one with the little holes in it. That's where the blood actually gets, soaked into absorbent. Then the back is actually polythene. It's certain kind of polythene, but those are standard. So the top and the bottom, those are part of standard. If you check the standard for making sanitary pads, like I said, the only thing we all change, every pad has the same top and the bottom, and of course the adhesive, because we have to make it stick to the panty. So what changes for every sanitary pad is what is used to absorb and retain that blood. So mine is paper and papyrus, without giving away the family secret.
Hello, my name is Lawrence Okwa, and I'm from Design Without Borders. I head the product development. Sunny, very nice to see you from us from school. My question is in relation to your experience of product development business in this country. What is the biggest challenge that you've faced? Question also goes to the rest of the presenters. What's the biggest challenge that you've faced as a person that's pursuing developing some kind of product? Because we know that doesn't really happen very often. We're very curious.
May I have all the speakers stand right at the front, closer to the speaker, so that it's easy for me. Okay.
Thank you for the question. We have decided making this product in 2004. That's when it was innovated. And the hardest thing is making people accept that something Ugandan can work. They just don't want. You're campaigning for Bubu, but they just feel like everything else has to be from outside countries. So really, that's the biggest challenge. And that's why we go a lot into, I show you the products, and I show you that you understand it's something that you know, so that you can finally accept it. So it's just that people love Uganda until you tell them it's made by Ugandans, by Ugandan products, everything Uganda, like, no way. That's why I give you an experiment. Now you know it works.
Just also to answer that question, I think one of the challenges personally, and as a company, we have also faced is when it comes to standardization, where you've made a new product that has never been in the market. And then now you have, let's say, demand. Parts maybe is demanded, let's say, in the European market, and then it's not standardized. It can't just sell. So when it comes to standardization, some of the products you produce, they don't have standards. You need to sit down with these boys and then they start to tell you what to do. Or they can even use you to develop another standard. It's what I'm doing with the banana fiber rug. There's no standard. And so you need to sit down with them and then they start asking you, what are the procedures A, B, C, D to follow? So I think that has also been one of the biggest challenges when it comes to product development in this country. Thank you.
Yeah, so I think not so much different from my earlier friends, but then one of the things we face is the lack of tools to use. For example, molds. For example, you might want to make a casing for this phone, yeah? But then the price of the casing would be even more than the phone itself. Because you have to get it from China and wait for 3 months before it comes here, then they tax you. The URI first ask you what is that you're bringing in. You first explain to them it's a phone casing, more like how does it operate? Does it have Ministry of Health certification, National Roads Authority certification, Ministry of Agriculture certification? So there are very many things we have to go through as innovators to do something which is unique. Yeah. Before you know it, you're doing something which is which is really common and ideally anyone can do. Yeah, so it's very difficult as an innovator to come up with something which is intrinsic, something which is special, because you have to explain a lot to everyone why you have to do it and why not others doing it. Yes.
Maybe also to add on that, I think the biggest issue when it comes to someone pushing in something new is the mindset change. Already people have something that they have at the back of their mind. So when you bring in something new, you have to go back to the basics. For example, I sell charcoal. And if I'm telling someone it's charcoal, they'll be like, so what is the difference? Then again, you start going back to, oh, it works like this, oh, it's better like this. Then they'll be like, okay, fine, now give me a free sample. Would you give free samples all throughout? When did you make the money? So yeah, that's how most of it, because most of them, whenever you take them, like, oh, give me a free sample, then next time I'll buy. So yeah, just the mindset change.
So I have a question online. What's the gestation period or growth period for the bamboo? And how long do I have to wait to source it? I.e., can I get the finished bamboo on demand, or I have to wait a little longer due to demand and material preparation?
Okay, so maybe I'll just answer how bamboo grows. So once you get a seedling, most time by the time we sell the seedling, they are BTA high, like 2 meters or 1 meter high. And for it to become mature, bamboo takes between 3.5 years to 5 years for maturity. So after 5 years is when now you start getting the very huge poles that sort of look like that. But at year 3, they're a bit smaller. So bamboo, when it comes to poles growing, is the bigger the shoot is. So that's where the interesting part is. And when it comes to the market, currently right now, we keep on having so many contenders because the bamboo gospel has been spread wide all over Uganda. And we have so many companies that right now are doing a lot of work with bamboo. There are those who are doing, they get the bamboo, they chip it into small palatable sizes, they export them to Vietnam, they're making, I think, louvers out of them and float ironing from that. So all that waste, we get it from them, we carbonize to make our briquettes. There are those who are actually using it to sort of make things like craft items, them those like the lampshades, the cutlery holders and the rest. Then there are those who are actually just looking for the poles to put something that is more eco-friendly. You've seen how many hotels these days are adopting the use of bamboo, like find their ceilings and everything. So there's that demand in the construction industries. There's the demand with the households for those who would like to do some household items and add a bit of bamboo into their, their daily life. And then there's also us who use it for other things that is basically energy. So when it comes to the market, there are so many different market avenues. You just have to get that niche that fits best on what you need.
Thank you. Do we have any more questions? Thank you very much. My name is Ayurveda Monica. I'm a graduate architect. My question goes to Bamboo. Such a great material, and yet for our context, there is the potential of actual bamboo, the one that you can really use in action of the mega aspects, does not really grow here. They are getting the minor breeds. Is there a way as a company you have figured out how to see that our climate and soil is more receptive to growth in very, yeah, in like better ways? Because we really want the material, but thank you.
Thanks for that question. So yes, there are some species that have been native to China that we are currently trying to bring into the country. For example, yeah, there's a species called Dendrocharamus asper, which is the big sort of bamboo. Currently, we have the planting material in our country. We have set up about 43 acres of that same species. And then currently we also engaged Narrow, that is the sort of develop for us protocols where they like tissue culture to see how best we can have some of these indigenous species that do well in other countries also work here. And currently the protocols are ready. What is stopping it is just that capital gap of the financing to sort of like have the mass production of that. But in case you need the big poles and everything, or look for us in 5 years, our plantation shall be ready. So we shall supply you the pole. Other question?
Hi everyone, good evening. I'm Henrietta, and my question is to everyone. So I think you guys have been able to work with some big international companies, and I wanted to ask what are some successful marketing tools that you guys have been able to do? Because I think so many companies want to do sustainable development, but precisely Ugandans, I don't think really care about sustainability. So what are some successful marketing tools you guys have used?
Thanks for that question. Might be tricky, but yeah. So when it comes to working with big companies, in Uganda, there's this sort of thing that they say, we're going to partner with this big organization, donor money, what. They'll put in a call out there and they're like, oh, call for maybe this and this project to be done here. But the thing is, it comes back to you as a person who's starting up something. Have you already built it in with your own resources? Do you have impact? Can you report on that? If at all you have the living evidence that, hey, look, I am actually changing lives by onboarding maybe smallholder farmers somewhere in the village, somewhere there, and actually they are benefiting in a way, and you have your visible impact, you can actually gauge it, it can be valued properly, and you know where the source is. It's very easy for you to actually move up to these people and tell them, actually, I have this, we can work together, build something like this, and maybe grow bigger eventually. So it all comes back to you as a person. Do you already have that stepping stone you have so that they can add some steps for you to sort of reach up?
About sustainability, Papercraft has been a self-sustaining company, but one of the ways we have kept going on is quality and timely delivery. When a client asks us for something, even if it means spending a night at our workshop, we will be there to deliver on time. So with that, usually most of our clients come in from past clients. So I believe when you start something or whatever you're doing, if you do it well, make sure it's good quality and you deliver on time. Most of our products are handmade. A client walks in and tells you, I want 500 pieces next week, and they forget the products are handmade. They won't consider that. If you don't deliver, nobody will come back another day. So usually my workmates feel I'm a bit tough and unrealistic, but jobs don't come in every day. So when they come in, we are willing to spend a night and deliver. Then after we have created a relationship with the client, that's when we can communicate to them that usually we need probably 2 weeks or 10 working days for your order to be delivered. But if it's the first time, the time you give us, we'll do our best and hit that time. So basically, timely deliveries and quality will sustain a business in one way. Fail to deliver, then nobody will come back. And
Right. She was asking about the marketing tool. I had an experience that was late last year, where I was approached by Zara. Actually, Inditex. Inditex is a parent company of Zara, about the banana fiber fabric. And then they want to have product, another material which is sustainable for their product. Now, the marketing tool here was not necessarily that by that time I had the banana fiber fabric, but I was able to convince them that it's very possible to have them. And like you say, in Uganda, people might not be so much interested in sustainability, talk about the biodegradability and all these conservations we're doing to the environment. They might not pick that interest, but there is somebody who has seen the effect of let's say, these effects, of the plastics and all of that. And so they're very much interested in what you do. So we were able to convince them and show them that it's very possible to have this. And that has always made us that forced us into trying to ensure that we actually provide what we have promised. And so that's why right now we have a banana fiber fabric, which they're very excited about them, and soon that's a huge order. An example of hair, which I also presented, also another company, big company that makes approach. And still, we didn't have a perfect hair by that time, but showing them and them knowing that it's very possible gave them confidence, and then they placed an order. It's something which we have worked and which we have done. So to me, I think when it comes to sustainability, yeah, there are some people who may not be interested in or may not appreciate at the moment, but there is somebody who can appreciate it. Are you willing? Are you able? Can you, if they place an order, if they ask you the composition in your innovation, are you able to tell? Are you able to talk about the product? I think that is one thing that has made us in position to talk to and partner with some of these big companies. Thank you.
All right. I like the question because one talks about the local market and also the international NGOs, right? Or the international funders. So you can't use the one size fits all approach or like a cape whereby it has to fit. But then we have to understand that different markets require different needs. For example, if I'm to sell my product to a European, a person from the Western world, you have to have a story behind every product you're selling. You have to show the impact of your product to the environment, to the community, to everyone around it. But then when you are selling the same product to a Ugandan, no one cares about the story. They ask you, jam maker, the price. Even if you tell someone, I have a shirt for you, I bought for your shirt, and the person will be like, how much did you buy it? Not what's the fabric, what's the brand, what's the clothing line, Everyone is just like, I think you bought it expensively. So you have to understand the market where you want to sell your product. For us at WastePlus, we craft stories and also craft great prices. You understand? Then we have awards which we've been winning and recognitions. For example, this year, Sinan was in Bahrain last week, representing and getting an award for international environment and recordability. Then I was working in Somaliland in February, where I was working with UN Habitat, the same project about recycling. Last year, we were recognized as the environmental sustainability company at Kololo by the Prime Minister International Environmental Day. Then Environmental Inclusion Award. We have a lot of awards so that everyone, when looks at our website, they know that these guys have been working. At least they are impacting. So one, you understand the market you're dealing into, because you can't tell if she was done selling to Ugandan, she doesn't tell them that this is from papyrus. Everyone will be like, okay, papyrus, they can make her. How much are they? Also, that's why she told me that she's in the rural areas who can afford. But then she's here. We are passionate about the story behind each and every product, and we will have to buy her story so that that's the stability way. But one thing you have to understand is that not every time you'll be singing about the problem, that you want to solve this problem or this is a solution to this problem. But then you have to understand that some of this work we are doing should be an intrinsic part of development and social development, and social change. When I'm selling my plastic, when I'm collecting my plastic, I convince people that, hey, you can get money out of this plastic. Sell it to me. Not like, you collect your plastic, you are cleaning up the environment will be clean, the birds will be enjoying the environment, the fishes will be clean. People will be like, okay, so what? Every kilogram contains 35 bottles, and every 35 bottles are worth 900 shillings. Okay, so if I collect 3 kilograms, I'm able to feed my family, or I'm able to feed myself. That's one of the things we can look at and fly high. Thank you.
again to MakaPads, I think it's still nailing me the fact that you don't sell to Kampala people. You think they are well catered for. Why not create a premium product that can help enlarge the production, and never know, you can even sell it to the people in the rural areas for even cheaper, because now you have a way of funding the whole production process.
Hello everyone, my name is Henry, student at IEA. I have two questions for WastePlus. One is at 25 tons a day, what's your biggest product on the market, or that you're selling out? And then you talked about you've just created the construction lumber. And I wanted to ask, your design intentions, what are you looking at? What is this product replacing in the construction industry?
Why are you in my case? Anyway, so we have been in Kampala. Of course, our factory is in Kawempe, and we have been to kinds of offices, even Ministry of Education. We have been with, now I don't want to speak like this for have, all big shots of people they work with. But we have been in Kampala, and the attitude people in Kampala, even the urban poor, even in the slum, there's this whole thing, they feel like they arrived and they have. Even when they don't have, it's an attitude of just people thinking they have. Now, that story of what we're saying about innovation, that when you have to tell this story and tell it and tell it, and then people are all like, what always looks nicer? And it's so much beautiful. That's why I say, is it about the beauty, or is it about the part that's actually going to absorb and actually make you feel comfortable? And most of all, is chemical free. So therefore, these itches and burns that people are getting a lot by using other sanitary products are not there. Well, between that market sense of trying to convince people who have 40 brands on the market, and I, who, when this story started out, was that young girl in a school failing to go to school, and she's in that rural area where there are no sanitary pads at all, and if they are there, they're more expensive, or they are not even in, because there are no supermarkets, there are no shops. You really have, if you go down to the bottom of the pyramid, for me, that's where impact is. That's the story. I must impact. I must change the life of that young girl. You are okay. You may not be 100, but that girl is at negative, and I will continue to feel that young girl has an opportunity, has a chance to be like me someday. So that's why I go out in those villages and say, I'm a civil engineer, and they say, I want to be like you when I grow up. And when I stand here, none of you want to be like me when I grow up. When I go to the village and tell this young girl that because I was able to get a sanitary pad, you can be like me. So I will appeal to you who have 1,000 products to actually buy for these young girls in this school net, because they cannot afford. You buy, be part of the story, and be able to give them free pads every single day, every single month, every single term. That's the story I will sell you, and that works. But that young girl is the story of, so you don't have to use. Remember that viral that went out in some girl in Busoga who was creating a sanitary pad using polythene and then putting holes, and inside there was soil? That there is where the pain comes from. You don't know that pain. I don't have to say that pain, you will never understand it. But you can understand that pain if you're helping that young girl who is assuring everyone in the school that I can create for you a son. Do we know what sanitary means? Google, help me. They are not, even when you start saying, people saying we're using reusable pads. What water? What soap? Can they afford it? How many kilometers do they have to get that water that is completely contaminated? Then you're telling me it is beautifully shaped. No, we're looking at beauty. Then premium product. Then I put it out and hang it where? In our culture, do you hang your underwear outside? Put up your hand if in your culture you're allowed. It's not there. We don't hang up, and so you cannot go hanging a pant or something that looks like a nice 8 outside. And if you're telling me the only way it becomes sanitary is by putting it in the sun so that you be like banned, come on, people. Menstruation, administration, knowledge, affordability. People, administration. I am selling you not just the sanitary part, but I am selling the issue of knowledge about it. So I teach menstrual hygiene management. Before I can sell this part, it's all about menstrual hygiene management knowledge first. After that, then I talk about how we have the product. Well, they use their clothes and the great grandmother and great grandmother use the cloth and everyone shares it. I'm telling you don't have to use that cloth if you can buy a packet of 1,000 shillings, which CASA we all can afford. If we can't afford today, at least tomorrow we can save. But you telling this story of use soap and many reusable parts, they are nice because you buy one and then you use it for the whole year. People, let's tell the truth. Let's honestly save these young girls from all those diseases that are coming through because she cannot wash in what you say. So what do they have even the basins? If the basin for washing things is the same basin for bathing, the same for everyone in the family. Then where do I hang it? Do you have clothesline in your villages? Where? On the grass where the animal pass. That's why you're telling me. Allow me to tell you that MakaPads is the solution, the real one. That's the not your stories that come up with that look nice in the papers. You people, this menstrual thing is serious, and the issue of selling a hygienic product, a sanitary product, is important. That's my story, and I will keep checking into the people whose lives need to be changed. You guys will be fine.
Thank you. 25 ton, they seem to be a lot. But what we do, we have PET, which is the PET plastic, and also HDP, which is used to recycle, and the PP, which is the plastic chairs you're sitting on. So mostly for the PET, around which are they keep the money flow for the business and sustainability. We get the plastic recycled to a given point, then we sell it to other recyclers who are having very big machines and have the capacity of recycling there. Then we use around 40% the plastic collected, which is HD and PP. We use them to make the tables, the picking tables, and other products. Our biggest selling point or our leader in our factory is the picking table and the fencing poles. So they have been really selling out much, and one table consumes more than 130 kilograms of waste plastic. So we feel like it's not we don't consume all of it, but then right now we are in a lot of talks with other people who want to come and give us massive projects. For example, we are still in talks, but we might fence one of the sanctuaries in Mitiana, and also we are in touch with the government to fence one of the national parks. That will be consuming tons and tons. We shall need around 60 tons of plastic every single day. So we are not there yet, but on the route to be there. Yeah, thank you. Okay, maybe we also have a catalog. You might pass by and look at. We also have a catalog. You can pass by and see the different products we make, and also you can give advice, technical advice. Because from a conservationist, you are an engineer, architect. I don't know. You can come and give us some good knowledge. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody, and thank you, speakers, for taking some time to come here. I know you're very busy people, but thank you for honoring our invitation. Thank you so much. I know we're running out of time. We apologize because we started quite late. Unforeseeable circumstances. Thank you. You can take a seat. Like I said in the beginning, in the introduction, we usually have these 4 sessions of Localtalks in 1 year. So the first session we had this year was in March, and this is the second session. Then the next will be in September, and the last one this year will be in December. We'll send out invitations and let you know what topics, but we really appreciate you guys being part of us and joining this conversation with us. We really appreciate you guys. So don't think we do not, but yeah, we do. So with that, I'd like to thank all of you for your time, and those online, thank you for being on time. I know we're waiting for some people, that's why we started quite late, but thank you so much and have a great evening. Thank you.